Okay, so you're prepping for a business manager interview.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah, we're going to do a deep dive into these RoleCatcher guides today to help you really nail this thing.
Yeah.
You've got like insights into the role itself, and you've got those questions, the common ones, but they can be a little tricky, and we're going to get into that.
That's for sure.
And then how their AI can give you an edge, to like really stand out.
Yeah, definitely.
So think of this deep dive as like your secret weapon, going way beyond just like surface level answers
Right.
to get you feeling really ready to impress.
Because it's all about being prepared, right? To showcase not just what you know, but how you think.
Right.
Especially in a role like this. A business manager is kind of that crucial link
Yeah.
between the big overarching company strategy and what actually gets done day to day. And interviewers want to see that you can handle that.
Yeah, and speaking of impressing, RoleCatcher's Guide points out that the job outlook for business managers is actually really positive right now. So companies are actively looking to fill these roles, which means your skills are in demand. Yeah. Which is great news for you.
Good news for sure.
But it also means that the competition might be fierce.
Absolutely. Preparation is key.
Yeah.
Let's tackle some of those common interview questions,
Right.
starting with one that seems really simple,
Yeah.
but can really trip people up.
Okay.
Why business management? What drew you to this field?
It's like they're trying to gauge your genuine interest, right?
Exactly.
Not just that you want a job,
Right.
but that you want this job.
Exactly. A generic answer won't cut it here.
Right.
You really got to dig deep, think back to what sparked that initial interest.
Okay.
Was there a specific experience, a mentor, maybe even a business leader you admire who influenced you?
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze job descriptions and suggest keywords
Oh, wow.
or themes that are relevant to the company you're interviewing with, so you can tailor your answer
Okay.
and show them that you're truly a good fit.
So let's say you aced that first question.
Right.
They're probably going to follow up with something like,
Right.
how do you stay updated on industry trends?
Yeah.
They want to know that you're not going to fall behind,
Exactly.
especially in a fast-paced field like business.
And it's not enough to just say, I read industry news.
Yeah.
You have to be specific.
Okay.
Name publications, websites, even thought leaders you follow.
Yeah.
Maybe mention a recent trend that's caught your eye
Okay.
and how you think it could impact the company you're interviewing with.
Right.
The more concrete and relevant your examples, the more impressed they'll be.
I like that. Yeah.
And RoleCatcher can help here too.
Oh, cool.
Their AI is constantly analyzing tons of data,
Okay.
so it can point you towards industry trends that might be particularly relevant to
Right.
the company and the specific role you're going for.
So we've talked about you,
Right.
your motivations,
Right.
how you stay current.
Right.
But now let's dive into the core skills that every business manager needs.
Let's do it.
One question that RoleCatcher highlights is, what do you believe are the most important skills for a business manager?
So this is where you showcase your understanding of the role's core competencies.
Right.
Leadership, communication, problem solving, strategic thinking, financial management,
So many.
all key,
Yeah.
but don't just list them off. Explain why they're crucial.
Yeah.
For example, you can say something like, strong communication is essential for a business manager because it enables clear direction setting and ensures everyone on the team is aligned with goals.
Yeah, it's about showing them you're not just repeating buzzwords,
Exactly.
that you truly grasped what makes a business manager effective.
Right.
And I bet they'll have a follow-up question like, can you give me a specific example
Right.
of a time insert skill here,
Right.
to achieve a positive outcome?
Right. Have those stories ready.
Okay.
Maybe a time you had to resolve a conflict, make a tough decision,
Yeah.
or motivate your team to go above and beyond. Right.
Concrete examples really bring those skills to life.
I agree.
And don't forget, you can practice these answers with RoleCatcher's AI
Right.
and get personalized feedback, even suggestions on how to tweak your wording
Oh, wow.
for maximum impact.
Speaking of tough tasks, question number 4 from RoleCatcher focuses on a
That is-
very practical skill.
Mm-hmm.
How do you prioritize tasks and ensure deadlines are met?
Yeah.
Time management is key for any manager,
Right.
but especially in a role as demanding as this.
They want to see that you have a system,
Okay.
whether it's a specific methodology, a reliance on project management tools,
Right.
or even just a highly organized approach to your to-do list.
Okay.
Walk them through your process.
Yeah.
And again, an example of a time you successfully juggled multiple priorities
Okay.
will really make your answer stand out.
Right.
Did you use any specific strategies to stay organized
Yeah.
or motivated?
Yeah.
Were there any unexpected challenges you had to overcome?
Oh, yeah.
Share those details.
Yeah.
It makes it so much more believable
For sure.
and memorable than just saying, oh, I'm very organized.
Exactly.
And of course, RoleCatcher can give you feedback
Yeah.
on how you're explaining those systems or stories,
Right.
making sure that they're coming across clear and concisely.
Absolutely.
Now, question 5 dives into your leadership style.
All right.
How do you motivate and inspire your team to achieve goals?
Uh-huh.
This one's all about demonstrating your ability to lead and inspire others.
Yeah. It's tempting to just say, I'm a great motivator.
Yeah,
But you got to go deeper than that.
right.
Think about the specific ways that you approach setting clear goals.
Yeah.
Providing support, fostering collaboration, and recognizing achievements.
Okay.
Do you lead by example? Do you focus on individual strengths?
Uh-huh.
Do you believe in empowering your team members to make decisions?
Yeah, you could even share an anecdote about a time you successfully motivated your team to achieve a challenging goal or overcome a difficult obstacle. How did you approach the situation? What strategies did you use? What was the outcome?
Exact.
Those are the details they'll be looking for.
Yeah, and if you're not sure how to best structure these answers, remember,
Right.
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your responses
Oh, cool.
and suggest ways to make them even more compelling
Yeah.
and tailored to the specific company and role.
It's like having a personal coach
Right.
helping you put your best foot forward.
Exactly.
Okay, this next question is getting into some trickier territory.
Okay.
How do you handle conflicts or disagreements with stakeholders?
Right.
This is a crucial skill for any business manager, as you'll inevitably face situations
Yeah.
where you need to navigate differing opinions
Right.
and potentially tense dynamics.
It's important to emphasize your diplomacy, your communication, and your problem-solving skills.
Okay.
Highlight your ability to remain calm under pressure,
Yeah,
actively listen to different perspectives,
right.
and find mutually beneficial solutions.
So avoid saying that you avoid conflict altogether because that's just not realistic.
Exactly. Disagreements are bound to happen,
Right.
and interviewers want to see that you can handle them constructively.
Definitely. And remember, they're not just looking for a textbook answer.
Right.
Be prepared to share a specific example
Right.
of how you successfully navigated a conflict with a stakeholder.
Exactly. What steps did you take? What was the outcome?
Yeah, focus on your process,
Yeah.
your ability to build consensus,
Yeah.
and how you maintain a positive working relationship,
Yeah.
even through a challenging situation.
And again, if you're not sure if your example is showcasing the right skills,
Yeah.
or if your explanation is clear and impactful,
Right?
try practicing with RoleCatcher.
Oh, yeah.
Their AI can analyze your response and give you that extra level of confidence.
Speaking of tough calls, question number 7 is a real test of your decision-making skills.
Okay.
Can you describe a time you had to make a difficult decision
Uh-huh.
that significantly impacted your company? This is a classic behavioral interview question,
Yeah.
and it's designed to assess your judgment, your problem-solving skills, and your ability to think critically under pressure.
Right. The key here is choosing an example that demonstrates sound decision-making,
Okay.
not just a gut feeling or a lucky guess.
Right.
Clearly lay out the situation,
Okay.
the factors you considered, the potential risks and rewards you weighed,
Right.
and ultimately the rationale behind your decision.
Yeah.
Did you gather input from others?
Right.
Did you analyze data?
Yeah.
Did you consider the long-term implications?
But just as important as explaining how you made the decision
Yes.
is explaining the outcome.
Exactly.
Did it achieve the desired results?
Uh-huh.
What did you learn from the experience,
What-
even if things didn't go perfectly?
They're looking for your thought process and how you handle those high-stakes situations.
Okay.
It's an opportunity to show that you can think strategically and take calculated risks, while also acknowledging that not every decision will have a perfect outcome.
Right.
And as always, RoleCatcher can be a valuable resource
Yeah.
for structuring your response and making sure you're hitting all the key points.
Okay, before we wrap up part 1, I want to take a moment to remind you about RoleCatcher's incredible AI capabilities.
All right.
It's not just about finding jobs. It's about owning your entire interview prep.
For sure.
We'll dive deeper into how it can help you tailor your CV and cover letter, practice with AI feedback, and even simulate interview scenarios in part 2.
Sounds good. Let's dive into how RoleCatcher can really elevate that whole interview prep process.
Okay.
It's not just about practicing answers, it's about giving you that strategic advantage at every stage.
Yeah, and one of the first hurdles even before the interview itself,
Right.
is crafting a CV and a cover letter that truly stand out.
Yeah.
We've all been there, staring at those documents, wondering, will this actually grab their attention?
That's where RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer. Imagine having a tool that can analyze hundreds of job descriptions in seconds,
Oh, wow.
identifying those keywords, skills, and even phrasing that hiring managers are looking for.
So it's not just about what you've done,
Right.
but how you present it to make the biggest impact.
Exactly. RoleCatcher goes beyond just keyword matching.
Okay.
It actually suggests ways to rephrase your bullet points, reorder sections,
Right.
even quantify your achievements to make them more impactful.
Wow.
It's like having a professional resume writer
Yeah.
working alongside you, guiding you towards a more compelling
Right.
and competitive application.
That's incredible.
It takes away so much of the guesswork and stress
Yeah.
of figuring out what will resonate with a specific company.
But what about actually practicing for the interview itself?
Right.
RoleCatcher has something for that too.
Absolutely.
Right.
They've got this amazing AI-powered interview practice tool
Okay.
that takes traditional mock interviews to a whole new level.
Yeah.
It provides a massive library of over 120,000 practice questions.
Covering a wide range of industries, roles, and skills.
Okay.
So you're not just practicing any questions, you're practicing the ones that are highly likely to come up in your specific interview.
That's so smart.
So you select the questions that are relevant to the business manager role.
Okay.
And then what?
Yeah, what do I do? Do I just answer them out loud to myself?
It's way more interactive than that.
Okay.
You actually answer the questions in a simulated interview environment.
Okay.
And here's the really cool part.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your responses,
Wow.
giving you feedback on your clarity, conciseness, and overall effectiveness.
Okay.
It even uses facial recognition technology
Wow.
to assess your body language and nonverbal cues.
That's next level feedback.
It's like having a personal coach who's picking up on those subtle things
Yeah.
that you might not even realize you're doing.
It's like they're in the room with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about getting those insights that a human interviewer might miss.
And giving you a chance to fine-tune your delivery, your pacing,
Right.
and even your facial expressions. You're basically practicing with a virtual expert who can help you project confidence and authenticity.
Okay, so we've covered how RoleCatcher helps you craft a stellar CV and cover letter,
Right.
and how it takes interview practice to a whole new level.
Exactly.
But let's get back to the content of the interview itself.
Okay.
Are there any insights from RoleCatcher's Business Manager Career Guide that can help us prepare for those trickier questions?
Definitely one thing the guide really emphasizes is the importance of continuous learning,
Okay.
especially in a field like business management that's constantly evolving.
Right.
They stress staying up to date with industry trends, technological advancements, and new best practices.
So when they inevitably ask that question about how you stay current,
Right.
it's not enough to just say you read articles or follow industry news. You need to be specific.
Absolutely mention specific courses you've taken, conferences you've attended, professional development workshops you've participated in,
Oh.
even books or thought leaders that have influenced your thinking.
Yeah.
Show them you're proactive about your growth
Right.
and that you're truly invested in staying ahead of the curve.
And what about certifications?
Yeah,
Those seem pretty valuable in business roles, especially if you're specializing in a particular area.
definitely if you have any relevant certifications, absolutely mention them.
Okay.
It demonstrates your commitment to professional excellence and your willingness to go the extra mile to develop your skills.
Okay, so continuous learning is a big one.
Yeah.
What else does RoleCatcher highlight as crucial for business manager success?
Another key area is stakeholder management.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes the importance of building strong relationships
Okay.
with both internal and external stakeholders.
Right. So this could be anyone from your team members and colleagues to clients, vendors, investors, even members of the community. And that makes sense because business managers are often the ones who bridge the gap between different departments, teams, and even outside organizations.
Right.
They need those strong interpersonal skills
Absolutely.
and that ability to navigate complex relationships.
Exactly. So when you're asked those behavioral questions
Right.
about handling conflicts or difficult situations,
Right.
highlight your ability to communicate effectively,
Okay.
build consensus, and find solutions that work for everyone involved.
So it's not just about getting your way.
Right.
It's about understanding different perspectives and finding that common ground.
Absolutely. A great business manager is a master of diplomacy
Yeah.
and can navigate those interpersonal dynamics with grace.
Yeah.
They can persuade, negotiate, and mediate in a way that builds trust and achieves positive outcomes.
And I bet RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful in practicing these types of answers.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially those behavioral questions where you need to tell a compelling story
Yeah.
and demonstrate specific skills.
You can walk through a scenario where you had to resolve a conflict with a stakeholder,
Oh,
get feedback on how you're framing the situation,
right.
and even get tips on how to highlight those key skills
Right.
that interviewers are looking for.
So we've got continuous learning and stakeholder management.
Right.
What other gems does RoleCatcher's Career Guide offer
Okay.
for aspiring business managers?
One thing that's really helpful is the insight they provide into the typical career progression
Okay.
for this role.
Okay.
They outline the various levels of responsibility
Right.
you might take on as you advance in your career
Okay.
and the skills you'll need to develop
Yeah.
to reach those higher levels.
That's so useful.
Because they're going to ask about your long-term career goals
Yeah.
and how this particular role fits into your overall aspirations.
Exactly. Be prepared to articulate your goals
Yeah.
and how this position aligns with your desired trajectory.
Right. Do you want to eventually lead a larger team? Do you aspire to manage a specific business unit or function?
Right.
Do you see yourself taking on more strategic responsibilities?
Yeah, and it's okay to be ambitious.
Absolutely.
Companies want to see that you're motivated and that you're thinking about your future growth within the organization.
It shows you're not just looking for a job, but that you're looking for a career path,
Right.
a place where you can learn, contribute, and grow over time.
All right, so we've covered continuous learning, stakeholder management, and even career progression.
Right.
Anything else from RoleCatcher's Guide that we should keep in mind
Okay.
as we prepare for this interview?
One final thing I want to highlight is the emphasis on ethical considerations.
Okay.
Business managers are often faced with complex decisions
Right.
that have significant implications not just for the company,
Right.
but for their teams, customers, and even the wider community.
So it's not just about achieving business objectives.
Right.
It's about doing it the right way.
Exactly. RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of acting with integrity and honesty in all business dealings,
Okay.
upholding ethical standards,
Right.
respecting confidentiality, and avoiding conflicts of interest.
And I'm sure these ethical considerations will come up in the interview, especially when they ask those behavioral questions about tough decisions or challenging situations.
Absolutely. Be prepared to demonstrate your ability to balance business objectives with ethical considerations.
Yeah.
Think about situations where you had to make a difficult call,
Right.
maybe even one where there wasn't a clear right or wrong answer.
Yeah. How did you navigate that situation?
Yeah.
What factors did you consider?
Exactly.
Did you consult with others? Did you rely on any ethical frameworks or guidelines?
Show them that you're not just focused on the bottom line,
Right.
but that you're also a thoughtful and responsible decision maker who prioritizes ethical conduct.
This is a great opportunity to showcase your character and your ability to make sound judgments, even under pressure.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can be incredibly helpful
Right.
in practicing these types of answers. You can run through different scenarios, get feedback on how you're framing your ethical dilemmas, and even get tips on how to articulate your decision-making process
Right.
in a way that resonates with interviewers.
It's about presenting yourself as not just a competent professional,
Right.
but also as someone with strong ethical values and a commitment to doing what's right, even when it's hard.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, companies want to hire business managers they can trust,
Right.
leaders who will make decisions that benefit not just the organization,
Right.
but also the people and communities they serve.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this part.
We have.
From crafting a standout CV and cover letter
Right.
to practicing for those tough interview questions
Hey.
with RoleCatcher's AI.
Ha ha ha.
We've also delved into some key insights from RoleCatcher's Business Manager Career Guide, highlighting the importance of continuous learning, stakeholder management, career progression, and ethical considerations.
It's all about using these resources and insights to your advantage.
Right.
So you can walk into that interview feeling confident, prepared, and ready to impress.
Now, before we move on to part 3, where we'll discuss how to strike that balance between preparation and authenticity and really let your personality shine through,
Okay.
let's take a moment to recap the key takeaways from this part.
Okay. We've seen how RoleCatcher's AI can help you create a compelling application practice for those challenging interview questions.
Right.
And even get personalized feedback on your delivery and content.
We've also learned that business managers need to be continuous learners,
Yeah.
skilled communicators, strategic thinkers, and ethical decision makers.
And we've discovered that by leveraging the insights
Right.
from RoleCatcher's career guide and AI tools,
Right.
you can present yourself as a highly qualified and well-prepared candidate who's ready to take on the challenges of this demanding but rewarding role.
Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll explore how to make sure all that preparation doesn't overshadow your unique personality,
Okay.
and how to let your genuine enthusiasm for the role shine through. Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground prepping for this business manager interview, from nailing those tricky questions to really understanding what the role demands. But now here's something I've always wondered, like, how do you avoid sounding too rehearsed? You know,
Yeah.
you've practiced with RoleCatcher's AI and, the key points, but you don't want to come across like a robot.
Right. It's a valid concern. Nobody wants to sound like they're just regurgitating, pre-programmed answers.
Right.
The good news is preparation and authenticity aren't mutually exclusive.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Practice gives you the confidence to relax and be yourself.
Okay.
When you know your stuff, you can focus on actually connecting with the interviewer,
Right.
letting your personality shine through.
So it's almost like that solid prep work becomes a foundation, and then you get to build the interesting, unique structure on top of it.
Precisely, RoleCatcher's AI tools, the career guide insights, those are your building blocks.
Right.
But they don't dictate the entire design.
Yeah.
It's still you bringing the passion, the insights from your career,
Right.
the things that make you stand out as a candidate.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So as I'm doing this final prep, it's about finding that balance.
Yeah,
I practice my answers,
right.
but I don't memorize them word for word.
Exactly.
I use RoleCatcher suggestions, but I make sure it still sounds like me.
Be adaptable.
Okay.
If the conversation takes an unexpected turn, don't be afraid to go off script a bit.
Right.
The interviewer wants to see you can think on your feet, that you're genuinely engaged in the discussion.
And speaking of engagement, let's bring it back to this specific role.
Okay.
Earlier, we talked about measuring success.
Right.
Those KPIs, revenue targets, all that.
Right.
But what about the less tangible aspects
Yeah.
of a business manager's impact?
You're talking about those things that don't always show up on a spreadsheet, but are absolutely vital to a team's success.
Right.
Think about things like team cohesion, a culture of innovation,
Yeah.
a sense of shared purpose.
Okay.
These are harder to measure, but a great business manager cultivates them.
So how do I convey that in an interview? It's not like I can point to a chart and say, look, I increased team morale by 15%.
You use stories, examples, anecdotes.
Okay.
Maybe talk about a time you fostered collaboration between departments,
Go.
or encouraged creative problem solving,
Wow.
or even just helped your team celebrate a win, big or small.
Right.
These show you understand it's not just about hitting those numbers, it's about creating an environment where people thrive.
It's almost like showing them you're thinking about the long game.
Exactly.
Not just how do we hit this quarter's target,
Right.
but how do we build a team that's consistently high-performing and engaged?
Exactly. And that kind of leadership mindset, that's something you can't fake.
Yeah.
It comes from your values, your experiences, how you approach leading others.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's that final piece of advice for someone about to walk into that business manager interview?
Remember this. You've got the knowledge, you've prepped with the best tools.
Right.
Now it's about owning that interview room.
Okay.
Be confident, be authentic, and let that passion for leading and making a real impact shine through.
And to build on that, something to ponder as you prepare.
Yeah,
What kind of leader do you want to be, not just in this job, but throughout your career?
that's a good one.
This interview is your chance to start building that legacy. Good luck.
Absolutely.